Hey, what's up guys? It's James here, and in today's video I'm going to be sharing with you a really important case study that allowed me to make over 29 grand in just 7 days. In fact, it could have made me a hell of a lot more than that, but I was limiting the number of products that I was selling at the time. So yeah, if I just sell unlimited amount of this product, I could have made a lot more than what I did. Now, the case study is based around a sales letter, and what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be walking you step by step through the entire process of what I did with this sales letter that converted all these prospects into happy customers. Now, a quick heads up before we begin. This video is over an hour long, but I guarantee that every second of it is pure, rock solid gold content. And what I mean by that, I'm going to be sharing some of my most advanced methods when it comes to copywriting, stealth persuasion, and how to convince people, complete strangers around the world, to invest in you and your product. So whether you're doing any copywriting or even internet marketing in general, because copywriting applies to every single aspect of internet marketing, then this video is for you, and it's going to help you get more sales quicker and easier. So that said and done, what I'll do now, I'll forward you to the next part of the video and I'll walk you step by step through this case study. I think you're going to absolutely love it when you see it. So that said and done, I'll see you there.
So it's a really good case study this. It's going to show you a ton of stuff like how to use stealth persuasion, a lot of psychology, things like that, that's going to compel your perfect prospect to buy your stuff. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to touch on the headline. And in this case, I've used a pre-headline, a main headline, and then a post headline. So the first thing I've done, sick and tired of your list not delivering the goods, then. So there's a lot going off there. The first thing I've done, I've called out the demographic that I'm targeting. Basically, my perfect prospect. I'm not bothered about anybody else because I know on my own list, I've got enough email list builders on my own list that I know it's worthwhile chasing after that demographic. So yeah, I put sick and tired, calling out my perfect prospect so they know it applies to them right from the beginning. And then I've put then, and then ... And you're going to see that a lot in my email marketing and in my sales letter writing and sales videos and things like that. And what that does, I tend to finish sentences incomplete. And what this does, encourages your reader to move on to the next line. You've got to make your writing really slippery and really make it flow, and it encourages your reader to move on to the next sentence. So you want to always try and make it slippy, and I'll point it out first few times just so you can see me doing it. So anyway, I go into the main headline, and this is basically the hook. And you're going to hear me mentioning this all the time. Copy my simple email formula and start generating multiple 10K plus pay days easily in just 28 days from now. So first thing I've put copy. Everybody loves to copy something. It's better than learning something, and it implies that it's easier. And then I've put my simple, which is, once again, it's a nice, easy word to use. Formula. Formula is something that if you follow the instructions, like a recipe, if you follow it down to the T, you bake it at the correct temperatures and use the right measurements, then you'll get consistent results no matter what. So the word formula is very powerful. And start generating multiple 10K plus pay days easily in just 28 days from now. So, and I've used a very specific number in my copy. You always want to use this, whether you're talking about figures, weight loss, I lost 10 stones and 5 pounds and blah, 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 and things like that. You always want to be specific because the numbers stand out more. Let me put it this way. If I put $10,000 or how to make $10,727.18, it stands out more, it gives your copy more punch, and it's more specific, therefore it's more believable. When you're pulling out rounded numbers, it doesn't stand out as well, and it just sounds like you're making them up on the spot. But when you're using very specific numbers, it sounds much more believable, it sounds more factual and things like that, and it just stands out when people are reading it in 28 days from now. So what I've told the reader there, I said, look, you're going to be doing this within 28 days from now. So I've even put a time frame saying that if you order today, you can make this kind of money from 28 days from now. I could have used 30 days, but I think 28 days, it's not a rounded number once again, so there you go. And then I go on to the post headline. guaranteed to work. Even if you've got a tiny, non-responsive, freeloader list who's never bought a single thing off you before. And that's targeting my perfect prospect again. Because the people I'm targeting, who this product is for email list builders who've got the squeeze page, they've got a lead, but they can't make it convert. And I'm calling them out specifically because that's who the product is for. So guaranteed to work, even if you have a tiny, non-responsive, freeloader list who've never bought a single thing off you before. I might even change and put, I never bought a damn thing off you ever before or something like that. But yeah, I'm calling out my perfect prospect because that's who the product is for. So anyway, I start up and I go, look, I'm not going to BS you or bore you with my rag to riches story like everyone else does, because let's face it. So the first line there, it opens up, and when you see these long form sales letters, especially in the internet marketing niche, people are conditioned to see them, and they'll scroll down and they'll think, oh, we're going to have a story in there, it's going to bore the crap out of me, blah, blah, blah. We live in an ADHD society where we want instant gratification. We haven't got time for BS and bullshit and things like that. We need to know what you're on about, what it'll do for me, and how to get it kind of thing. So I've basically just said, look, I'm going to cut all the crap out and just get straight to the point. And my readers will appreciate that because they haven't got time. We've got better things to do, like waste our time on Facebook and on Twitter and do nothing on there. We'd rather do that than grow our own businesses or lose weight or whatever. And once again, you can see here, I've put at the end, because let's face it, ... and then I've continued here. Why have I done that? Because it encourages the reader to go on to the next sentence and to keep reading. I'm giving them incomplete sentences, like a cliffhanger that you see at the end of the show, that it ends on a cliffhanger that encourages you to watch next week's episode. And that's what you want to be doing. Another thing that I'm doing as well, which I recommend that you do with all your writing, whether you're writing sales copy or email marketing, whatever, blogging, that you want to keep your sentences as short, as powerful, and as concise as possible. You don't want to be writing big long ass paragraphs like what you see in books. That's wrong, especially for marketing. It might work for books, but when you're trying to get people to do a desired action, you want to make it as easy to read as possible. So you want to be doing 1 or 2 line paragraphs, basically a sentence, and then have a space and so on and so on, and you'll see that again. Everything should be as concise as possible. And if you don't know what concise means, it means that everything should contain what you want it to do without all the crap, without all the fluff, without all the filler and things like that. When you come to writing sales copy, you have to be ruthless with your editing. You want to write it out, your first draft, and keep adding to it, but you'll come to a point where you'll have to ruthlessly delete paragraphs, and you've probably spent hours or even days writing some of the stuff, and it has to go because it's just a waste of time. Slow down your readers and they're going to get bored reading it. So then, right, it slips down. Me and you both have heard it 1,000,000 times over, and I don't know about you, but I'd rather just get straight down to brass tacks. Now, in the last sentence or paragraph, I'm using something called us versus them, which I won't go into detail because I will be touching on that in a later module, but it's a very powerful psychological covert persuasion method that makes people side with you and choose your competitors as their enemy, and it really positions you as the good guy. And like I said, I'll be touching that in a later module. And I've also put something like this, but I'd rather just get straight down to brass tack. And what's really important about that, and something that you really want to be using in your entire marketing, really informal, friendly talk. How would you talk to your friends? Then you want to really transfer that into your marketing. You want to be using phrases like, who let the cat out of the bag, I've just hooked you up, things like that. How would you talk to your friends if you saw them at the bar? Because what will happen then when you talk to your prospects and your readers like that, they will subconsciously start thinking of you as a friend. Because if you're talking to them as a friend without announcing that you're their friend, they will subconsciously draw that conclusion themselves. A lot of people on my list view me as their friend. So what I've decided to do is to skip all the smoke and mirrors crap, you see everyone else do and just tell you what I've got and what it'll do for you. Straight to the point. And in this case with this sales letter, you'll notice that I'm being very serious because I want to position this as a very serious offer. This is going to be like a once in a lifetime offer kind of thing. Hardly any exclamation marks that I've used or anything like that because I want to be taken serious in this sales copy. And once again, I'm using more us versus them because what I'm doing there, I've decided to skip all the smoke and mirrors crap you see everyone else do. I'm basically saying, look, everybody else is messing you around. I'm going to skip all the bullshit and I'm going to get real because it's you. And once again, more buddy talk, smoke and mirrors crap mixed in with a lot of us versus them. Like I said, I'll touch on the us versus them. I've got an entire video module section on it. Okay, it's that powerful. So that said and done, here's what I've got. So it's very slippy. It encourages the reader to keep going. For the past year, I've done a complete 180 in my email marketing. That has literally, once again, catchy headline, and it's incomplete, okay? Like a cliffhanger that you see on a TV show when you're watching your shows. It's always incomplete, and the reason why they do that is because they want you to tune in for next week's, because they want the viewing figures to get people to watch it, and so they make money off the ad revenue and things like that. Exactly the same here. And I'll tell you something, studies have shown that humans remember incomplete tasks more than they do complete tasks. And a lot of time it will bug humans if they have a task that's incomplete. I mean, it must have happened to you where you've got a task and it's bugging you. You think, oh God, I've got to do that. I need to do that. It's on your mind till you actually have done it. Once you've done it, there's like a relief. And that's what you want to be doing in your marketing, where you've got incomplete sentences and it encourages them to keep reading the next sentence. So I've put here, for the past year, I've done a complete 180 in my email marketing. That has literally, and you'll notice I've mentioned email marketing because who am I selling to? Email marketers. I know my demographic and I am laser targeting them. I am screaming towards them. I mean, the very first sentence in the pre-headline target is them. So I'm constantly mentioning it because that's who I'm selling to. And like I said before, you really want to know your perfect prospect because once you know them inside and out, how they talk, everything like that, you can really resonate with them. They'll read that sales copy and they'll think, God, this guy really gets me. And then you'll notice it kind of continues here. It took me from making a few measly commissions a day right up to making multiple $10,000 to $20,000 plus paydays every single month without fail. Now, that's what my perfect prospects want to do on a monthly basis. Okay, it's probably a bit overkill, but they're thinking this is exactly what I want. So anyway, I haven't put the income proof, and the reason why I haven't put the income proof in there is because I'm going to put it in the day before the product goes on sale. And the reason for that is because the proof, which I think I've mentioned in a previous video, the proof needs to be as current as possible. Let me give you an example. If I showed you proof from 2001, people are going to go, that's amazing that you made $1 million in 10 minutes with doing nothing. But that proof comes from 2001. So the older your proof is, especially in the internet marketing niche, the less relevant it is. So you want to keep your proof as modern as possible. And before you ask, this was and still is with a tiny list of freeloader subscribers who've never bought a damn thing off me ever. So once again, my readers, my perfect prospects, going to read that and think, well, I've got a tiny list and the list is full of tire kickers and freeloaders and they've never bought a damn thing off me before. This product looks like it's made for me. Now, what's going to happen with the rest of the people that come over to check your list who are not into email marketing? They're not going to buy. So you want to make sure that the demographic that you're targeting is a big enough demographic. So you don't want to be like, say, if you're selling beard trimming products, you don't want to be targeting people with pink beards. The demographic has to be big enough that it's a worthwhile effort to go for. And don't worry, this involves zero spamming or hard selling tactics you see everyone else do. In fact, when you do what I'm about to show you, so this is going to be a concern on your prospect's mind. You know, they're going to say, you bet, how are you doing it? Are you cheating the system? Are you black hatting it? Are you spamming? Are you using hard sells? Are you mailing 16 times a day? Things like that. So I'm disarming them. I'm saying, look, it's got nothing to do with that. This is really cool, really easy to do, you know, and it doesn't involve any spamming or hard selling or what makes you look really obnoxious or it makes your subscribers hate you. And then, once again, incomplete sentence, make it slippy and slidey for the fat kid to get down that slide. Boom, he slips down here, so he keeps reading. You email less, a lot less in fact, and it turns your subscribers into raving fans that will literally beg to buy your stuff, whether it's affiliate offers or your own products and services. Basically, absolutely anything and everything you have to offer. So yeah, you can see that basically I'm telling the reader it doesn't involve any spamming, it doesn't involve hard selling or anything like that. In fact, you email a lot less and it will make your subscribers fall in love with you and turn them into raving fans, which that's exactly what you want in email marketing. Okay, you don't want just an email list, you want a fan base that love your products and loves your content and loves you, and when that happens they will buy from you. Anyway, another headline, pretty sweet, right? And you've probably won in on my little secret, right? Now, there's a mistake in here, but I've purposely left it in to point it out. So let me go through it again. Pretty sweet, right? And you probably want in on my little secret, right? Now, the mistake that I've done here, and this is a mistake that a lot of people make without realizing it. It'll probably convert just as well, but it's something that you should be watching out for. You don't want to be using the same words again and again and again, especially the way I've done. I've used right twice in the same way. The thing is though, you always want to be changing up your language. So if you're going to be saying the same thing, you want to be using different words. So instead of saying it's good, you can say it's amazing. And then if you need to use that word again, you can say it's fantastic. Things like that. Try to avoid using the same words over and over and over again, or it'll make your sales copy really, really boring. And when it gets boring, the fat kid on the wet slide is going to start crying, he's going to be upset, and he's going to shut down that window and he's going to do one. Okay, so you want to try and switch it around. I mean, so in this case, I'll probably get rid of that right and put in her. Okay, so pretty sweet, huh? Or something like that. Well, it's quite an American slangy kind of word, but you know, it keeps it casual, it keeps it informal, it's how friends talk and that kind of thing. So I've left that in and I'll probably change that. Well, you're in for a treat because I'm going to show you how to do this on this very page in just a moment. But before I do, what I've done there is that I'm starting up an open loop. And an open loop is like what I've been talking about, where it's incomplete, but I'm starting up multiple threads in the sense that they'll be thinking, alright, he's going to tell me, but before I do, so they continue reading and it'll keep them reading because they think they're going to have their problem resolved at some point as they read through this very page, which I do answer it, but it's really important that you do that. It's called an open loop. So you always want to be starting up multiple stories or multiple threads that makes them reading, thinking that there's going to be an incentive to keep on reading. More slipping and sliding in just a moment, but before I do, I want to quickly tell you why what you're doing is wrong, why it isn't working, and how to fix it in just a couple of minutes from now, so you too can start making multiple $10,000 paydays in just 30 days from now, regardless of how small, unresponsive, or burnt out your list is. Once again, I know my perfect prospect inside and out. I know what they want, I know what their problems are, I know what they're having difficulty with, and I know what their desired outcome is. And in this case, my perfect prospects have small email lists. They know how to build the squeeze page, but they don't know how to convert it, and they want these massive, humongous paydays because they're not making money and they're struggling at home. So I go into this. Look, this is exactly what you're doing wrong. Now, what's really cool about this headline here is that basically you're going to have a lot of people that skim through your sales copy, and they're going to be reading headlines. I'll just highlight that so I don't lose it. So basically they're going to look at that and then they might get bored of reading. It don't matter if you're the best sales writer in the world, that's what happens. Remember, we live in the internet age where we've got constant distractions, mobile phones, with email, with Facebook, Twitter and things like that. People are getting notified every second over something stupid and mundane, but it takes them away when they should be consuming our content. I've tried to write the headlines so it recaptures their attention. So it's really important that you've got powerful sub-headlines that captures the skimmers, that makes them stop and think, oh, I'll start reading from this point because this sounds interesting. And this really applies in this example. So if somebody's running down here, rolling down the copy, and they'll go, look, this is exactly what you're doing wrong. So they've probably read the headline and all the little sub-post headlines and things like that, and then it goes, look, this is exactly what you're doing wrong. And they're thinking, okay, I'll read this part because I need to know what I'm doing wrong. I'm building my email list, but I'm not making the money. So this part will apply to me. So that's really important. You want to make your sub-headlines really attractive, benefit-driven, and it makes them stop the skimmers in the track to continue reading from that point onwards. Let's face it, you're not making as much money from marketing as you want. It's okay, I totally understand. In fact, I was once in the shoes you're standing in right now. What I'm saying here is that once again, I'm going for my perfect prospect, and the email marketers that are making stupid amounts of money reading my sales copy, which would be next to zero or very slim, they'll be thinking, well, you know, this doesn't apply to me. They won't be reading my copy. People who will be reading my sales copy are going to be people that are email marketers that are not making as much money as they want. So it doesn't matter if somebody reads that and it doesn't apply to them. I'm not targeting them. I don't care about them. It's okay, I totally understand. In fact, I was once in your shoes you're standing in right now. So I'm totally relating to them. I'm saying, look, I was once there, I were in your shoes, I struggled too. The thing is, we're led to believe you build your list, mail offers, and boom, you make money. People can relate to that. They come into internet marketing, they hear how profitable email marketing is, and for the first year or so, or 3 or 4 sometimes, but they don't make the money. Even though there's stories out there conflicting saying, I made $10 million in 10 seconds with email marketing and things like that. Okay? So the tales, the myths, we've all heard them. Why am I not producing the goods? Even if I've got a big list, I'm not making the money that I should be doing. So that's going to be resonating with my reader even more. But as I found out, and what you're seeing right now, it ain't quite like that, is it? In fact, what we're led to believe just doesn't work, and there's a damn good reason for that. More slipping and sliding. The reason why people spread this rumour is like it was written in stone, and that's because at some point it was true. Many eons ago, you could just blast out an email and watch the commissions roll in. It didn't matter if your emails were poorly written or whatever offer you promote. You were guaranteed to make money, and lots of it too. So basically, I'm referring back to the past, which was true, but it's an oversaturated market now. Everybody's in it, so you've got to be extra smart. This is the secret undertone message that I'm implying. But these days, it's a very different story. Whether you like it or not, the scary truth of email marketing is this: more slipping and sliding. I try to do this a lot in my sub-headlines, so when the skimmers come down and say whether you like it or not, the scary truth of email marketing is this. Once again, the people who are interested in my product, who are going to buy, SEOers are not going to buy it, domain flippers are not going to buy it, bloggers are not going to buy this because it's not targeted to them. So the people who are into email marketing, they're going to skim through this and they'll go, oh, okay, the scary truth of marketing is this. Okay, I've got to read this because I want to know the truth. Plus, what I've also used in this sub-headline is fear. I've turned around and said, look, there's something bad that you need to know. And that's much more attractive to read. That's going to grab their attention so much more than telling them the good news about email marketing. But when you inject drama in your marketing, it's going to get more eyeballs, okay? Anyway, I go on to this. For starters, the competition is fiercer and more aggressive than ever before. Hundreds of new marketers enrolling every day. Hungry and more determined than ever before. I think I've used ever before, so I'll have to look into... oh yeah, there you go. Ever before... and ever before. I don't like that. I'll probably change that. But like I said before, if you keep using the same phrases, it kind of gets boring very quickly. The fat kid's going to fall out the slide, he's going to start crying. We want to reword that and make it sound much more interesting, okay, instead of using the same phrases. That's a big problem that beginner copywriters go through. They use the same phrases again and again and again. You want to use a thesaurus or something like that to get their cut of the ever-shrinking email marketing pie. Second reason, hundreds of thousands of marketers plus the hundreds of new recruits enrolling every day all have one thing in common. more slipping and sliding, encourages them to keep reading. They're all using the exact same strategies and methods you're using right now when it comes to email marketing. And then I've put, sure, these strategies and methods are tried and battle tested, but they're also oversaturated and ineffective now. As you can see, I'm telling the truth here. Email marketing is being told to be the most profitable way of making money online. And if you look at all the successful marketers online, they're all building email lists. So when my perfect prospect reads this sales letter, they'll be going, you know what, this is so true. Everybody's doing it. How can I get a cut of this pie when every bugger's doing it out there? So I'm really resonating with that, with the reader, because he's my perfect prospect who's reading it, and he's, yeah, I can totally understand that, and that sounds so true. It must be true. Especially as hundreds of thousands of marketers are literally hammering the crap out of their email list every day using the same title methods you're using right now. And once again, I'm targeting the beginner to intermediate email marketers, and they're probably thinking, I email offers, I send content out, but nobody bloody buys. What am I doing wrong? So I'm really resonating with them even more. Now, this is where I start swinging things around. But what if I told you can actually spin it in your favor right now and start making multiple $10,000, $20,000 plus paydays within 30 days from now? So, question mark. And that will go, yes, I really want to know how to do this, regardless of your list size or how burnt out and unresponsive it is. And that's going to be another problem with my readers, because once again, I know my demographic. It's so important to learn your demographic and who your perfect prospect is, because if you target everyone, you sell to no one. Really want to learn all this. This is really, really important stuff. Don't believe me? Let me share this little secret with you. So another sentence that's really rouses curiosity and very slippy and slide. And it encourages the reader to keep going on. You see, there's a massive opportunity in the email marketing space right now, yet nobody can see it, let alone take advantage of it. Not even the top tier marketers and gurus. But what makes this opportunity truly unique is that the more the competition grows, the more money you will make doing this. Really, really spinning it around now, instead of all the doom and gloom and all the fear mongering and things like that. I'm saying, look, you can do this, and the more the competition grows, the more profitable this will become. Because the reason why I've said this is because there's going to be more people out there every day using the same title methods. Okay, so if everybody's a herd of sheep using the same methods, when you use the methods that I use, you're going to stick out like a sore thumb. That's the implied message. And as you can imagine, there's a lot of competition out there, and with no one doing this, it's getting easier and easier to make multiple 10,000 plus paydays every single month. I probably would have put without fail there. But listen up, because there's a catch, and that is, once again, another sub-headline that's using fear-mongering and saying, look, but there's a drawback to this, really important stuff. My perfect prospect will be going, yes, I want to know what this is. What is the drawback to all of this? It sounds too good to be true. I must read on. You see, even though this opportunity is getting bigger and easier by the day, you must go about it in a certain way. Otherwise, you can have the opposite effect and actually turn your list against you, and as a result make you even less than what you're making right now. And trust me, I've seen this again and again, especially when I've seen other marketers try reverse engineer what I do, and boy, they screw up. I'm basically setting them up now for the product and saying, look, you've got to do this in a very specific way. If you step out of line, even by a millimeter, you're going to screw it up and make things worse than what they are now. So you must listen up. So I'm trying to keep them on the edge of the seat and saying, look, you've got to listen to this, because this is the real way, the proper way of doing it if you want to make those $10,000, $20,000 paydays each and every month. Some of them even ruined their relationship with their list so bad they had to bin their entire list and start from scratch again. Seriously, it was that bad. But as you're a loyal subscriber, and you've got to remember, the reason why I put subscribers is that I'm only selling this product to my readers, i.e. my subscribers. I don't want you to go through the pain of spending months of reverse engineering of what I do and ultimately fail in the process. So basically, I'm turning around and saying, look, you're a loyal subscriber, I don't want you to go through that pain, I don't want you to mess things up, so I'm going to do this for you. and I don't want you to permanently damage your relationship with your list like others have. That's a definite no-no in my book. So what I've decided to do is to actually walk you through the entire process right now, so you too can have your very first $10,000 payday in as little as 30 days from now. And like I said, it doesn't matter how small, unresponsive or burnt out your list is, just follow my simple instructions and then watch the money roll in as early as 30 days from now. It's that easy. So as you can see, that's really going to resonate with my perfect prospect, with my reader, because they're going to turn around and go, yeah, but will this work for me? And I've mentioned this numerous times before already in the copy, because I want to get the message across to them that it doesn't matter how small, unresponsive or burnt out your list is, this will deliver results. Because once again, I know my perfect prospect inside and out, and I know that they've got small or medium-sized lists, but it's not converting for them. If it is converting really well for them, they won't be reading my sales copy, so I don't care for them. In fact, I've turned it into a complete step-by-step money-making system that any email marketer can use right off the bat to make multiple massive paydays a month. And I like to call it jackpot paydays. If you're bringing out courses and guides, you always want to hammer home the word step-by-step, easy to follow, easy to implement. I hold you by the hand, things like that. This is really important, especially for the beginner crowd. I walk you through step-by-step. I literally hold your hand regardless of what experience you've got. Things like that are really important because people love step-by-step video instructions or step-by-step written instructions and things like that. So that's really important. And once again, I'm using phrases that everybody knows right off the bat. This is not professional talk. This is how people talk. This is how friends talk to each other. I'll show you how to do it off the bat kind of thing, and that's what you want to be putting into your sales letter, because once again, that's going to subconsciously relate to your reader, and they're going to subconsciously position you as a friend more than a salesman. So anyway, I put an image there and I've tried to make it look very classy. I went with that image because it was nice and classy and simple. Remember, the graphic, that it's got to represent your product. So it's worth spending a little bit of money. I don't think that cost me like $50 or $70, so it wasn't a lot anyway. And you can always create your own if you know how to do that. So now I've revealed the product, which is Jackpot Paydays, built them up to the ultimate solution to their problem. I've gone through their pain. I'm saying, look, there's too much competition out there. It's getting worse and worse. It's getting fiercer, and it's only going to get a lot worse from this point onwards. We're all screwed. So I've used a lot of doom and gloom, a lot of negativity. It's like sticking the knife in somebody, and then you look at them, and then you tell them problems while you're turning the knife. So you really want to get them into that position of pain, and that's what I've done up to this point. And then I'm saying, look, not all that bad. There is a way out of it, but you've got to listen up, and you've got to do it in a very specific way. If you do it the way I show you, then you can get those desired results that you really want. So yeah, I've got to the reveal, and I kick it off by going, in Jackpot Paydays, I give you the exact system I've been secretly using to cash in big time, to rake in crazy numbers like $10,000, $20,000 multiple times a month without fail. Now, I will just say this. You're probably thinking, James, right at the start of the video, you turned around and said you're best off using very specific numbers. Now, the reason why I've used just $10,000 and $20,000 is because it implies that I've done this hundreds of times, and they're the figures that I'm getting every time. I'm getting in between $10,000 to $20,000, and in fact, I've done way higher than that using Jackpot Paydays. But in this case, it's best just to use in this case because it shows that I've done it that many times. I'm hitting those kind of figures multiple times a month without fail. That's what people want. They want reassurance. And it doesn't matter if your list is tiny, non-responsive, or suffering from extreme burnout. Once again, I'm telling my readers, saying, look, it's totally cool. Don't worry if you've got a tiny list. This will apply to you, because that's going to be 99% of my perfect prospects who read this. They're going to go, yeah, but it won't work for me, because I've got a tiny list, or burnt my list out, or things like that. Okay, so you always want to jump on there and say, yeah, but it doesn't matter because I will show you how to do that regardless of your problem, okay, or the problems that you think you have. These not problems when you do what I show you. And once again, very slippy and slidey, incomplete sentences that encourages the reader to keep going. In Jackpot Paydays, I show you how to rejuvenate your list instantly and start making massive paydays in as little as 30 days from now. That's basically what my perfect prospects want. They want to make a ton of money within 30 days from now. They don't want to be sat doing a 2-year college course and then spending years trying to get a job, spending years learning material, and then spending years to get up to that point of making $10,000. They want the $10,000 payday today, or well, yesterday ideally, but they want it really quickly. And I'm giving them, once again, I'm giving them a time frame they can do this. And it's totally possible, by the way, with the Jackpot Payday system. It does require work, but I do it all the time. It's really, really easy. And the more you do it, the easier it gets. Right, which that bit had nothing to do with writing sales copy. I'm just telling you that it is possible. And you don't want to lie on your sales copy. I do this all the time. Fair enough, I'm more experienced than most people, but the more you do something, the better you get at. Anyway, moving on. In fact, the first time I did this, I had a list of just 2,022 subscribers who'd never bought a single thing off me before. Yet when I tried out the ghetto version of Jackpot Paydays, I made $11,176.41 in just one day. What I'm doing here is that I'm using very specific numbers. So the first time I did this, I had a list of just 2,024, which is a tiny, teeny, weeny little list that's not worth bragging about, who've never bought a damn thing off me before. And a lot of my perfect prospects are going to be in this exact position where they've got a tiny list and they've got a list that they've tried promoting to them but they've never bought a damn thing off them before. So they can totally relate to that. I've gone through it. When I tried out the ghetto version of Jackpot Paydays, I made 11,000 blah 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 in just one day. Once again, very specific numbers. And the reason why I'm using a specific number here instead of using it, where was it? Here, $10,000, and is because, like I said a few minutes before, when I'm saying I can make $10,000 to $20,000 plus paydays, is because I've done it that many times. They're the ballpark figures that I'm hitting on a regular basis. But now I'm on about one occasion specifically. And when you're talking about one specific time, then you can talk about those specific numbers. I made $11,176.41 in just one day. Now, one other little thing that I want to touch on while I'm here as well. A good way to start a sentence with a word that you would put in the middle of a sentence. Like the word in fact. Another word is yet. Another one is but, and things like that. Because it encourages your reader to keep reading. It's another method to make that fat kid eating his ice cream, going down there, having fun on the water slide. And it encourages him to keep sliding down without him stopping and then crying and then storming off in a mood. I hope you enjoy my analogies anyway. And if you think that was a fluke, okay, more slipping and sliding there, a lot of people are going to be thinking that. Was that a fluke? So I come in again. Exactly 1 month later, I ran a more refined Jackpot Payday system again. End result, I pulled in a staggering $29,000 in just 7 days. So yeah, I'm now running a more refined version instead of the ghetto version, which I said here. And you always want to prove that. I may put some income proof if I can get that proof for that. So whenever you come out with an income statement or a weight loss claim or bodybuilding or whatever, you always want to try and back it up with as much proof as possible. So I might put an income claim there because people need constant reassurance. Okay, I'm saying, yeah, it's working, but it worked once, brilliant, but did you do it again? So you always want to back everything up with proof, otherwise you're blowing hot air. And this is exactly what I want to show you today, so you can start cranking out multiple 10,000 plus paydays quickly and easily in as little as 30 days from now. Let me show you what's inside the Jackpot Payday system. Now, you're going to have some serial skimmers who are going to just I'm here at the sales letter, there's going to be a load of crap at the top which I won't care about, which is fair enough, that's your opinion. People are going to be going down, and one thing that they look for is bullet points, because bullet points just get straight to the point and tells them what's in. So in my opinion, it's absolutely essential to use bullet points, especially written sales letters. I also recommend them that you do them in your video sales letter as well, because that's where it tells people specifically what's in the course. I'm going to lay my cards on the table and be completely transparent with you, so you know exactly what you're getting when you get access to the Jackpot Payday system today. And this is something I probably should do more in this sales copy, but I've used the words when. Now, this is known as a presupposition, and this is part of NLP language, which is worth looking up, neuro-linguistic programming, and it's basically the art of stealth persuasion language. Because what a lot of beginner copywriters do, they'll put something so you know exactly what you're getting if you get access to the jackpot today, or if you order today. You never want to do that. You want to tell when you order today. Once inside, you'll also get things like that. You always want to presume the sale, if you know what I mean. Presume they're going to buy. When you do that and talk like that and write like that, you're going to be naturally more persuasive in your language, and that's going to help with your conversion. That's going to go into your prospect's head. They're going to subconsciously thinking that they're going to buy this much more. So you always want to be using presuppositions in your marketing, whether it's blogging, video, sales letter, whatever, okay, in your entire marketing. It just helps you to be more persuasive. I've broken everything down into 4 easy to follow modules, so anyone, regardless of experience, start implement the Jackpot Paydays system for immediate results. There's a few little things kicking off there in that little sentence. I've broken everything down into 4 easy to follow modules, so anyone, so easy to follow, and then regardless of experience, okay? Because people are going to constantly ask you questions, go, yeah, but is this hard, will I be able to do it? So I'm trying to answer that, because that's like the biggest thing that people will contact me over, saying, yeah, but I'm a beginner and things like that. And I'm basically saying, look, if you can build a squeeze page, if you've got a list, if you're email marketing right now but you're struggling to make money, this is for you. And I'm trying to tell them that it's really easy regardless of experience. Start implementing the Jackpot Paydays for immediate results, because people want to see fast results. They don't want to invest in a course and get those results 2 years from today. They want them in 28 days. They want it in 15 days. They want it yesterday. So I've already said, look, you can get results in 28 days, in 30 days following this course. So I don't really need to keep saying it, although it probably would help. Now, bullet points. The way I write bullet points, I'm basically talking about what's in the course. I've actually added 3 new modules since writing this, so I'm going to add another 3 loads of bullet points, or 3 more chapters of bullet points kind of thing. But yeah, when you're writing bullet points for your sales copy, I tend to talk about how it will help them and what the end result is, and use massive amounts of curiosity. Try not to give away the actual method, because if you reveal too much, there's not enough curiosity for them to take action. So you always want to be talking about the end result. Instead of saying it'll allow you to make your list respond so much better, instead of saying that, you want to be talking about the end result, like the money. That's what people ultimately care about. You want to talk about the benefits and use massive amounts of curiosity and talk about what's in it for them. The one simple tweak you can make right now to your email marketing that will finally flip your income from pennies to making $10,000 paydays in just 30 days from now. That's pretty blind in my opinion. What is this tweak? I don't know, but I'm using massive amounts of curiosity right now in your email marketing. I'm calling out the email marketers again, because that's my perfect prospect. That's who I'm targeting. That will flip the income from pennies to making $10,000 paydays in just 30 days from now. What is this tweak? I need to know this tweak. That's what my perfect prospect will be asking themselves. What is this tweak? I could even say something like, this one simple 10-second tweak, which implies it's so easy, it takes like 10 seconds to do. That'll be another way to further enhance that bullet point. I'll show you what the top tier gurus are doing and what you're not, that will double your income overnight just by doing this easy to apply trick. So once again, I'm using massive amounts of curiosity. What are the gurus doing, what you're not doing, that will literally double your income overnight just by doing this one easy to apply trick. So they know it is really easy. It's just one trick. I tend to use the word trick a lot in my marketing because it implies that it's really easy. Other words are like methods, techniques, technique, strategy, okay, but trick seems to work best for me. Trick is something that you see a magician do that takes seconds. It has that little message that sends to your perfect prospect that implies that it's easy. You'll learn about a wildly profitable segment of your list I know you're not targeting, but once you've tapped into it, they will buy anything and everything you've got to offer without hesitation. You'll see why and how to tap into it once inside. Like I mentioned earlier, I'm using a presupposition there. I'm saying you'll see why, how to tap into it once inside. I'm presuming that they will be inside. There's no doubt about it. So once again, you want to be hammering that presupposition. It's stealth persuasion. They will not see it. They'll just read it and consume it. It can send a very powerful message that will just make them act a lot more. So what else is in there? But once you've tapped into it, more presuppositions, once you've tapped into it, you notice I'm not saying if you do tap in it, if you find the time to tap into it or anything like that. I'm saying, but once you tap into it, presupposition, really powerful stealth persuasion. The silly little mistake I guarantee you're making right now that will double your bottom line instantly. The first time I did this, I doubled my business overnight and it only took 2 minutes to do. Really powerful bullet point there, using massive amounts of curiosity, and I'm also giving them an instant reward by saying when you do apply this, you're going to double your business overnight, and it only takes 2 minutes to do. Now I will say this, I tend to use these brackets and it just gives me like a little side comment, and I tend to use these to turn around and say, when I did this, these are the results that I got in the time frame they allowed me to do it in. So that's a good way of just adding additional information to your bullet point. And like I said, I tend to use it when I'm talking about my own personal results in the time frame and things like that. Then I move on to the next module, the mind control module. I might change the names to these as well, I'm not too sure yet. Why storytelling is a complete waste of time in your marketing, despite what the gurus will tell you, and what you should be really focusing on that will turn your subscribers into raving fans and throw their hard-earned cash at you. So what I'm doing there, every marketer out there tells you you're using storytelling in your marketing. I'm going against the tide, against what everybody else is saying, and that's going to make my perfect prospect think, yeah, but everybody says you should use storytelling. But my perfect prospect, a lot of them probably have used storytelling and they've totally screwed it up or whatever, and they didn't get the results that they needed to get with it. So they're probably questioning that in the back of their mind. You really want to know your perfect prospect and what's going off in their internal thinking, because once you know all that, you can answer all their questions before they even ask them. Really, really important. You've really got to get to know your perfect prospect. I know I keep saying it, but it's so important. I'll reveal how to get cult-like status with your list so they consciously elect you as their leader, and once again snap every single thing you have to offer without hesitation. So I'm going into all mind control stuff and all that, which is really attractive information for my perfect prospect to be thinking, yes, I want to know all this, using massive amounts of curiosity without actually telling them what's inside. And every email marketer wants their email list to elect them as a leader. When you're a leader, you're an authority, and then people follow you, and when people follow you, you make a ton of money, because when you tell them to buy something, they will buy it without hesitation. Like I said there, I'll show you how to sell a lot more while emailing a lot less, all without ever being pushy, forceful and hypey too. Your subscribers will love you for this too. And that's a big problem. A lot of people think you need to email more to make more, but I'm going to go against the tide again, which makes me stand out and being controversial, which really helps in your marketing, that will make your subscribers think, what is this? I really need to know this, because I'm sick of emailing stuff because it's not converting. I want to email less and make a lot more. Your subscribers will love you for this too. A lot of these bullet points, they're going to be using the same methods: massive amounts of curiosity, benefits, and what are the desired end result. So I'm not going to read them all because you get the point. There's a lot of bullet points to plow through. But this one's a little bit different, so I'll go into this one. In this module, so I'm doing the case study module, I will show you, in this module, I'm going to walk you through a case study where you can see me implementing the Jackpot Payday system firsthand on my own list. You really need to see this, because not only is this done on a tiny list of 2,024 subscribers who've never bought a damn thing off me ever before. And I end up pulling over $11,000 in one day and over $2,000 throughout the rest of the week too. So this is really powerful. You want to be using case studies in your courses because it further backs up that this stuff works. There's a lot of problems with the internet marketing scene where people are teaching theory. They've never got results using or never even tried to implement it themselves. I'm going to back it up in the course, and you're going to actually see me on how to do it, how I've done it on my own marketing, in my own list. So yeah, it's really important that you do that. But also, I give you every single email swipe I've used in the case study, so you can literally copy and paste and run this on your own list and start profiting almost immediately. Now, this is massive. People don't want to work. People just rather press a button, and it's sad that because people like that get seduced into scammy, bullshitty internet marketing products that don't work. But yeah, I'm going to give them all the email swipes and everything that I used that they can use, and they can just literally copy and paste it. Because what else do people want? They want to literally copy and paste and get instant results. And I'm going to give them my email swipes that allow them to do that. So if you can do that, and that will literally make their life easier, you really want to put that in the course. And I've probably mentioned it in previous bullets and things like that. I've got free downloadable content that they can use and things like that. But if you think that's all the case study has to offer, then think again, because I also share additional hints, tips and strategies that some consider even more powerful and profitable than the ones I've mentioned already. So more bullet points. I'll just touch over this one. I share a strategy I discovered in the seduction market that builds up so much desire for your offer, you'll have your subscribers emailing you in their droves, literally begging and screaming to sell them your offers right now. Expect a lot of emails from your subscribers after implementing this. So once again, I'm using massive amounts of curiosity, I'm talking about benefits, and I'm talking about their desired end results. So if you want to write that down somewhere, that's really important when writing bullets. So you want to be using curiosity, benefit, and end results. And when I say end results, in this case of internet marketing, that should be like how much you're going to make and in the time frame as well. So desired end result in my case is how to make $10,000 to $20,000 paydays multiple times a month within 30 days. So that would be the desired outcome. So I'm not going to read the bullet points because they're using very similar formula. So now I'm drifting away from the bullet points. So as you can see, Jackpot Paydays is an incredibly powerful system that you or any email marketer for that matter can use right now to start pulling in multiple $10,000 paydays in as little as 30 days from now. You notice I keep saying that because that's what ultimately my perfect prospects want. They don't want an email course. They don't want the videos. They don't want step-by-step instructions. And this applies to everything. All they want is the desired outcome. They're willing to follow the instructions and they want their hand held and they want to be walked through it in a step-by-step manner in the quickest and easiest way. But ultimately that doesn't matter. All what really matters is the desired outcome. And that's why you keep hearing me hammering it out again and again and again, because that's what my perfect prospect wants, despite how small, burnt out and unresponsive your list is. And I keep saying this as well because that's the question at the back of my perfect prospect's head. They're going to go, yeah, that's brilliant, it's a desired outcome, but my list is tiny, it's small, they don't respond, I've emailed them, I think I've burnt them out and things like that. So I'm answering that on the back of their mind, because if you don't answer it, they're going to email you it. So you might as well answer it in your sales copy. In fact, you can see the results that Gavin Stevenson got after implementing the methods taught in the Jackpot Paydays to his tiny list right here. Now, this guy, Gavin, I sent him a course, he went through the course, and he's actually implemented the methods, and he made a ton of money. I can't remember what he made, but the most important thing that you want to take away from this, and this is one of the most powerful things that you can do on your sales letter, is use social proof. There's many levels of social proof out there. Because end of the day, the worst kind of proof is coming from you. Because I've got an evil agenda. I'm trying to sell you something. Could have photoshopped it or whatever, or I could have faked the video, or however the hell you do that. But I've got an agenda. I've got a financial incentive. So you want to try and get as much proof as possible. Because perfect prospect's going to turn around and say, yeah, but it works for you, or you might be a liar. I don't believe you. But does it work for other people? And that's where your perfect cue is to bring in social proof. You can do this in written testimonials. I prefer video because you can't fake videos. I could write a written testimonial, make up a name, and get a picture from Google Images and stick it on there. So you want to try and back it up with as much and as strong social proof as possible, and video is a damn good one to start off with. And another cool thing about this is that Gavin actually shared results that he got following the methods. He made a few thousand, I don't know if he made 10, 5 or whatever or something like that, but that's really important because getting testimonials is one thing, but getting testimonials where people are getting results is much more better. Because if you go to the Warrior Forum in the WSO section, when you see that, you see a ton of testimonials and where people are saying this course is brilliant, I recommend it, I think you'll learn a lot from it. But people are starting to call out these testimonials now and they're saying, yeah, but did you get any results from it? And that's a big problem with testimonials. So what you want to do is get testimonials where people are getting great results from your system, your course, your guide, your mentorship, whatever the bloody hell you're selling. And one cool way, which I touch later on in the course, is that you can give out your course for free and then you want to like mentor them or keep in contact so they implement the methods. And I'll show you a cool place where you can get people to do that later on in the course. But anyway, moving on. But the fact is, I'm only scratching of what's inside the Jackpot Payday system, because once inside, using a presupposition there, I share even more powerful strategies and methods, but I want to keep them as a surprise when you get access today. You notice I'm starting to use a lot more presuppositions, more stealth persuasive language. I'm presuming the sale once again. But before you jump in with both feet, and as you can see there, presupposition and incomplete sentence to encourage the prospect to keep reading, I have to be totally honest with you. Now that's quite a good sub-headline, because the skimmers are going to go, I have to be totally honest with you. They'll be thinking, well, I need to know what he has to be honest, and then it'll make them read. And then I go on, as powerful and as profitable as the Jackpot Payday system is, believe me, it's not for everyone. Seriously, it's not. So prospect's going to be thinking, do I qualify for this or not? It's going to encourage them to read. First up, the Jackpot Payday is for advanced marketers only. This is not to say Jackpot Payday system is hard. In fact, Jackpot Payday is very easy to implement, as I walk you step by step through the entire process. But here's the thing. Now, I'll just stop there and say this. I'm saying, look, this is for advanced markets. And you're probably thinking, James, if I say that, I'm going to be cutting out the beginner crowd or the intermediate crowd. And you would think that. But here's the thing. Beginners don't want to learn beginner material. If you said this is beginner material, you're going to scare off everyone. Beginners want to learn the juicy stuff. They want to learn what the pros are learning. They want in on the pro stuff. So when you say it's advanced stuff and it's not for you because you're a beginner, it's going to make it more appealing, because everybody wants all the pro stuff. We all want the stuff that the gurus are having, okay? We don't want the scraps. We don't want the baby stuff. We want the big boy stuff. So me saying it's for advanced marketers only, that's literally going to make more appealing to the beginners, and I'm also applying to intermediate and advanced marketers as well. So that's the reason why I've done that. And I even turn around and say, look, this is not to say that Jackpot Payday system is hard. In fact, it's very easy to implement, as I walk you step by step through the entire process. I'm saying, look, you know, it's advanced stuff, but it's very easy to implement. But I go into why it's advanced in just a second. But I just want to point out, I've used the phrase step by step, because like I keep saying, people love step by step video tutorials or written instructions. I tend to work with video myself, but you always want to emphasize that you'll hold them by the hand, you'll walk them step by step, then it's easy to implement, because that's going to be a big barrier for a lot of people. So you always want to make sure that it's easy to implement, or you walk them through step by step video instructions and things like that. Now, but here's the thing, I don't cover the basics. So if you don't know how to build a squeeze page, upload files to your server, or even have an email list for that matter, then I'm afraid this is not for you. Once again, I'm going for my perfect prospects here. I'm not going for the people who are complete beginners anyway. And my perfect prospect is going to go, well, you know what? I know how to build a squeeze page. I know how to upload files to the server. And I do have an email list. So this is going to be perfect for me. Because this guy's not going to be teaching me the stuff that I already know. I just get down to the meat and potatoes, and that's what I really want to know. Once again, like I keep saying throughout this video, it's all about knowing your perfect prospect inside and out. Once you know your perfect prospect, which will come with doing the exercise, because when you know how to laser focus your marketing, you're going to be screaming to a large segment of your audience that will just make them buy like crazy. Then I'm afraid it's not for you. Jackpot Paydays will assume you know all this, and as a result allows me to get straight to the meat and teach you the stuff that actually matters. You know, the stuff that actually makes you multiple $10,000 paydays a month. So once again, I'm going for my perfect prospect because I know they already know how to build a squeeze page. They already know all this simple stuff, and they're just going to be like, yes, this is the kind of stuff that I need to know. It won't have any of the beginner stuff. This is all the kind of things that I need. I just want to lay my cards on the table and be totally upfront with you, being totally honest there. People like that kind of thing, because when you grab my Jackpot Paydays and you're not in the position to use it, you don't have a list or you don't know how to build a basic squeeze pages and stuff like that, then Jackpot Paydays is not for you. So basically that segment of the sales letter, I'm saying this is advanced stuff which appeals to beginners. Beginners want the stuff that the pros are using. They don't want the beginner stuff. Show me what the big boys are doing. Even though they're not ready for it, they want what the big boys are having. So when you say it's advanced training, it's going to appeal to everyone, even the beginners. Okay, so that's really cool little covert method that I've been using that works really well. And then I've really hammered down about my perfect prospect. I'm saying, look, this is not for you if you don't know how to build squeeze pages, upload files to using FileZilla or servers, or if you don't know how to build a WordPress site, then it's not for you. So there's more perfect prospect targeting in that section as well. So I've put still here, okay, cool. Because you know what, the people who will be reading this, they've had a pre-launch sequence using the methods that I talk about it later on in this course. So they all know what the course is about anyway, the people who are reading it. And it's more slipping and sliding for the fat kid who's going down the water slide. Obviously, in the position to use the Jackpot Payday system, and you want to know how to make multiple $10,000 paydays as soon as 30 days from now. And who doesn't, right? So the question on your lips must be, how much? Come down to talking about the price now. So I roll in and I say, well, I thought long and hard about this, and providing you qualify, the sky's the limit on how much you can earn from using the Jackpot Paydays. I mean, I could quite easily charge $2,000, and to be honest, I could really, and providing you implement it, you would have no problem whatsoever recouping the cost of the course in as little as 30 days from now. Now, that might sound like hype, but that is actually true. You could actually implement this course that you've got now, and you can actually recoup the cost of this course many times over. Trust me, you really could. Well, providing you're willing to put the effort in, you can recoup the cost of this course. Heck, not only would you easily recoup the cost of the course, but you would make thousands on top within that 30 days period. True. So true. The problem is, most people won't implement this course because studies have shown like 95% of people who buy internet marketing courses, they don't implement it. They'll buy it with excitement, they'll look at it, and then they'll never use it. It's sad, but it's true. But if you do implement this course, you will recoup the cost of this course very easily. So yeah, $2,000 to get access to the Jackpot Payday system would be a no-brainer, right? So what I'm doing here is that I'm building them up saying, look, this is really expensive information. This is really, really high-end course at $2,000. Bear in mind that they've had a pre-launch sequence, building them up that it's going to be thousands and thousands. So when they actually see the price, it's a no-brainer. But here's the thing. The people who truly need it can't afford $2,000 to get access. Even if they can quite easily recoup and profit within 30 days of implementing the jackpot pay days formula. I'm really hammering that home because this course will be a few $100s, but I want them to know when you implement the course, you will quite easily recoup the cost of the course, plus you'll make thousands more on top. I really want them to get that into their head that you can recoup the cost of this course very easily in as little as 30 days, in fact. So I figured I'd slash the price by half and bring in the price to $997. And to be honest, getting access at this price is an absolute steal. I mean, you can quite easily make 10 times more than what's within 30 days from now, regardless of how small or unresponsive your list is. So once again, I'm bringing it up again because I'm trying to convey the value of the course, and I'm saying, look, $997, you can quite easily recoup the cost of that within 30 days and still make thousands more on top within 30 days from now. And you've got to remember, my perfect prospects, they've already got the email list, they've already got squeeze pages, they've already got the beginner knowledge in place. So they're in a position where they can implement this course and make stupid amounts of money very quickly. And I've even said there, regardless of how small or unresponsive your list is, in the back of their mind they're going to go, yeah, but I've only got a tiny list, or I've got a list, or it's very unresponsive, or burn it out, or it's both, or whatever. Because I want to get that message in their head, telling them that it doesn't matter about the size of your list or how small or how burnt out it is. You can use this, provided you've got a list, you can make money with it. Even copywriter veteran Victor Edson, with 10 plus years marketing online, agrees it would be an absolute steal at any price too. So I've got this video testimonial, and I've even given him his credentials. Copywriter veteran with 10 years plus of marketing online agrees me. So that's really important that you want to point that out. So if you've got somebody who's giving you a testimonial and they've got any decent credentials that they've got, then you want to point that out. A guy who's been marketing for 10 years plus, who knows copywriting, so he's been about and he's wrote a lot of copy for a lot of people, even he turns around and says that this stuff rocks, then it's really powerful social proof. Now, if you're wondering where to get social proof, I do touch on that in a later part of the course, and it's very easy where to get people to give you testimonials, videos and things like that, and I even show you how I did that myself, which I'm going off the context of this video, but I do touch on that, so don't worry about getting social proof. But I thought it's still priced out a lot of people who actually need this. So to help the little guy out, more slipping and sliding. And remember, like what I said, people who've gone through the pre-launch sequence where they've got the pre-launch content and videos and things like that, I've conveyed without saying it that the course is worth thousands. So they've probably come on thinking it's going to be worth $1,000 or $2,000. So when they actually get the price, they'll be thinking, Jesus Christ, that is dirt cheap. And that's what you want to be doing with your pre-launch sequence especially. You want to convey the message. You don't have to say it, but you just have to make out that it's going to be a really expensive course, which I'll show you in the case study how I did that, where people thought this was going to be worth thousands, and when they saw the price, it was just like $97. They snapped it up in an instant. Now, if I positioned the product before launching it as a $27 book and then launched it at $500, it would have failed miserably. So when you position your product, you want to position it that it's worth thousands and thousands. So when they actually come to the sales letter and see it at a fraction of the price, they will snap it up in an instant. So that's really important, which of course I'll be touching on all that in a later part of the course. For a limited time, I'm going to give you access to the entire Jackpot Payday system for the one-time fee of $297. So like I've just been moaning on about, people have come to this sales letter thinking it's going to be a $1,000 product, a $2,000 product. So when they see that, they're going to be thinking, my God, this is dirt cheap. Absolute no-brainer. Yep, you read right. You get the entire system where I walk you through step by step on how to make multiple $10,000 paydays in as little as 30 days from now for a low price of just $297. So to get instant access to the members area, simply hit the order button and I'll see you inside. So there's a lot of methods there that I've been repeating throughout the video. Presuppositions, I'm constantly telling them their desired end result that my perfect prospect wants. But yeah, then I've got the order form here. I put, yes, I want instant access now. I understand that I will receive instant access to. I love that because it's using that slipping and sliding kind of thing. So I put instant access to the full jackpot paydays formula. Take you by the hand and show you how to make multiple $10,000 paydays, even if you have a tiny unresponsive list that's suffering from extreme burnout. So basically telling them about the desired end result that my perfect prospect wants, and I'm also telling them, I know what you're thinking, that you've got a tiny list and it's burnt out or it's non-responsive. Don't worry about that. I can sort that out. And another thing as well, I like putting bullet points where the order button is, because like the other bullet points, it's going to be one of the most read part of your sales letter, because people love bullet points. It just summarizes everything. It cuts out all the crap, all the bullshit, and it just gets straight down to the point. You get instant access to the exact same methods that not only James has put through the ringer time and time again to make massive paydays again and again with incredible ease, but has also proven to work for everyone else who has implemented the system with huge $10,000 paydays of their own. So once again, I'm hammering home that you can make a lot of money, but not only that, I'm bringing up the social proof element. I'm saying, look, this is not only just working for me, it's working for other people as well. And that is so important, because people will say, yeah, your stuff works for you, but does it work for other people who've tried to follow your system? And I've clearly showed that earlier on in the sales letter with video proof of other people implementing the system. Instant access to easy to follow step-by-step video training that will literally take you by the hand and walk you through the entire process, so you can have your very first $10,000 plus payday in as little as 30 days from now without breaking a sweat. That bullet point is basically telling them how easy it is, because people don't like hard work. Now, obviously, you have to make something that's hard easy, and the way you make something that's hard easy is by breaking it down into easy to follow step-by-step video instructions. And then I've put here regular price $1,997. I'll probably drop that down to just $999. Today, $297. And then I've given them instructions. Once payment is made, your login details will be mailed to your email address connected to your PayPal account. From there, you will be able to log in and start. It's really important that you tell people how to get their order, because the more money they spend, the more they get worried that they're being ripped off, especially if you don't answer their email straight away. But anyway, moving on. But hurry, jackpot paydays won't be available for much longer. Here's why. So I'm using, it's a sub-headline, it's there to catch the skimmers, and it's very slippy and slidey, because here's why. They need to keep reading the sales copy to find out why they need to hurry. But the biggest part of this sub-headline, I'm inducing scarcity. This is really important. If you don't give them an incentive to buy right now, then they will not buy. It doesn't matter how much they want it. You really need to light a fire under their ass to tell them to act now. And not only that, you can't just tell them to act right now. You need to give them a reason why. Everything you do in your marketing, it must be rooted. You can't just say, look, you need to buy this now because I'm pulling it off the market. Because if you do that, people are going to go, well, why are you pulling it off the market? Wouldn't it be more profitable to keep it on the market? So I'm going to show you how I did this. There's many ways of doing this, of course. Look, I hate to be the bringer of bad news, but more slipping and sliding. I can only release so many copies of the Jackpot Payday system. Here's why. You're probably thinking it's some scarcity tactic you see everyone else is doing, but the fact is, basically going into the back of their mind, because they'll be thinking, oh, it's some scarcity tactic, this is an internet marketing product, everybody does this, so I'm calling that out straight away when I say, look, you're probably thinking it's some scarcity tactic, but it isn't. Here's why. So, and then I'll go, with this being a new system that uses new methods that nobody else on the planet is using, then to keep the effectiveness of the course, I have to seriously limit the numbers. I haven't come up with this one. This one's been used to death, to be honest, but I couldn't think of anything else. But basically, I'm rooting the reason why I can only sell so many copies. I'm saying, look, this is a brand new system using new methods, and I don't want it to get saturated. If too many people are doing this, then the methods are going to become ineffective. But I've rooted it, I've given a reason, so you never ever want to pull a product off the market for no apparent reason. So you always want to answer that question that people are thinking in their own mind. Then to keep the effectiveness of the course, I have to seriously limit the numbers. And this is what I said, didn't I? I said if too many people get access to this course, then it's going to become ineffective and it's going to become overly saturated. Thinking about it, everybody was doing what I was about to show you inside the jackpot paydays. Do you think it would be still effective? Obviously not. And this is why I've decided to limit access to the first 100 people who get in. So you'll notice straight away I've given a very specific number. So this is going to create massive amounts of scarcity because the way I've worded it, I've turned around and I said, look, I can only sell limited numbers, and then I've given the reason why I can only sell limited numbers, and then I've given a specific number, which I'll be using this later on, and you'll see how in just a second. After that, I'm pulling the plug, and once I pull the plug, I'll never release the jackpot paydays ever again at any price. And although I don't have a big list myself, and there's no affiliates promoting jackpot paydays, I've had 849 people who've personally contacted me over the last 7 days who are extremely passionate about getting access to the jackpot payday system. So what I've done here, I actually sent an email out to my list when I wrote this sales letter, which were a few months ago now, and I turned around and said, look, would anybody be interested in learning advanced methods in email marketing? And 849 people contacted me saying we'd have a deep desire for it. So what I've done there, I said, look, I'm only giving away 100 copies, but I've got 849 people with a deep desire for this. Okay, they really want this course. The numbers don't add up. Obviously, there's going to be over 749 people who want this course are going to be left out. And most of the 849 have assumed this is a $2,000 course too. So imagine when they find out it's only going to be a tiny fraction of that. More scarcity, evil scarcity, but it works. You've got to really give your perfect prospect a massive motivation to take action right now. Not tomorrow, not in 5 minutes. They need to take action. Yes, exactly. This is why if you want in, then the worst thing you can do right now is to hesitate. Delaying just by an hour could risk you coming back to an expired page. And once you see that page, then I'm afraid you'll never get another chance ever again at any price. So if you want in, act now to secure your place by clicking the order button below. Okay, so I've turned around and saying, look, once that 100 copies go, and remember there's 800 odd people who want this, you won't be able to get this at any price. So people who try to contact me and say, I'll give you double for it or whatever. No, once the door's shut, they shut, and they shut forever. And you really, really should live up to your promises. Your reputation takes years to build up and seconds to knock down. Soon as you lie or deceit or something like that, people won't forget. So you've got to live up to your promises, what you're stating on your sales letter. And then I've redirected them to another order form, which I've got the correct price there, $997, which is basically the exact same one to that one. And then see you inside, little cheeky presupposition with a nice little smiley face, James Scholes, picture of me, and then I go on to the PSs, right? I might develop the PSs a lot more than what I've got here, but the PS section is really important in your sales letter, especially in a written sales letter, because apparently it's the third most read part of your sales letter. What people will read, they'll read the headline, they'll skim through it, blah, blah, blah. They just tend to scroll right down to the bottom like bastards that they are, and then just read the PSs. Now, what you want to do, especially with the first PS, is basically give a complete summary of your entire offer in the most shortest, most concise way possible. So I've put here, if you're serious about email marketing and you want to finally discover how to make multiple $10,000 plus paydays within 30 days from now, then the Jackpot Payday system is for you. And it doesn't matter if your list is tiny, unresponsive, or suffering from severe burnout. I'll show you how to instantly rejuvenate your list and start cranking out those massive paydays quickly and easily in just 30 days from now. So that lives up to what I've just said. Your first PS should be a complete summary, because there's going to be people out there that's just going to read your headline and then scroll right to the bottom because they just want to see what the entire sales letter, how long it is, or how much shit they have to read. A lot of people do that. So you just want to give them a quick overall summary of what the entire offer is about. And I've done that. I've basically said, if you want to finally discover how to make multiple $10,000 plus paydays within 30 days from now, then the Jackpot Paydays is for you. So that is their desired outcome. That's what they want. They want to make lots of money very quickly. And I've said that, $10,000 in 30 days. And I've even answered the questions that's probably on the back of their mind, what's holding them back, and saying, yeah, but I'm an email marketer, but it won't apply to me because, and then I've put, it doesn't matter if your list is tiny, unresponsive, or suffering severe burnout. So that's going to be a massive problem for my perfect prospects. So I've put it there as well. I'll show you how to instantly rejuvenate your list and start cranking out those massive paydays quickly and easily in just 30 days from now. And then I've put another PS, but look, due to the power and the profitability of Jackpot Paydays, I seriously have to limit the numbers. Even though I have a small list myself and there's no affiliates promoting Jackpot Paydays, I've got 849 people on my list have expressed an extreme desire to get access to Jackpot Paydays no matter the cost. And with Jackpot Paydays being the fraction of the price everyone expected, I reckon those 100 copies will be snapped up within hours of me opening the cart. So please, if you want this, act now, because once the first 100 are snapped up, you will never have another chance to get Jackpot Paydays ever again. So what is the second PS all about? Scarcity. So the first PS, always give them a complete summary of the offer, which will give them the desired result that your perfect prospect wants. But then the second PS should be inducing scarcity. To say, look, as awesome as this offer is, I cannot keep this up running forever because I need to protect the method, or whatever your scarcity reason is, and then just focus on injecting more and more scarcity with facts and figures like I did. So that is the sales letter for this product. I think it's my best one to date that I've ever written. A few other things as well. Keep your writing short and punchy like I have. It makes it really easy to read. I think I've said everything what I need. Now it's up to you. I don't know if you're outsourcing your sales letter or if you're going to be writing your own, but definitely use the methods that I've used in this sales letter. They work really well. I've been using this stuff for years and it works like gangbusters.
Now, if you enjoyed today's training and you want some more cool free stuff from yours truly, then don't forget to go down below this video into the description box, and if you give the link down there a good old click, I'm currently giving away an internet marketing course that you can have absolutely free of charge. So it won't cost you any money to get access to. And when you sign up today for free, what will happen is that I'm going to take you personally by the hand and walk you step by step through the entire process on a really cool and easy to implement way of making money online. So it's a completely newbie friendly system that anyone, regardless of experience, can put into action and make money from. And not only that, but it's 100% free to implement as well. So you're going to get free access to it, and it's going to be 100% free to implement. So it won't cost you any money whatsoever, and everything you make, you keep. So you get to keep 100% of the profits. So to get that absolutely free, just go down below, give the link in the description box a good old click, and I'll see you on the other side.